I am tourist. With my tourist wife, we live a full and beautiful tourist life. We're taken to a hill tribe. They live on a hill. They sell us boxes painted green and gray. They are ugly boxes, but they're very inexpensive. They put on hairy masks and scarlet knickerbockers, and they bang their stomachs and circle around us. Is it a wedding? Is it a funeral? Well, whatever it is, we video it all. And it is very picturesque, but not inexpensive. On our way back to our hotel, I tell our guide, no more painted boxes, no more picturesque ceremonies, no more hill tribes. I want a mattress. I want a pool and a bar, just like back home. I am tourist. When we get hit by wanderlust, it'll drive us to seek the exoticness of another country's culture and people. But are we really being good tourists? The fetishizing, the object-hating, and the ignorance that we put on these locals is painting us in a bad light. And with the rise of new tourism styles such as neo-colonial and slum, tourist ignorance becomes more apparent. If you're fortunate, if the tourist becomes self-aware and more mindful of their new surroundings. And what's tourism without the angsty locals that have to cater to these pushy, rich strangers? Together, they form the trifecta of every vacation ever. Poetry by Kenneth Elise, Japanese City. Leonard Cohen, The Only Tourist in Havana. Adrian Mitchell, I Am Tourist. Alem Kalu Grisos, Welcome White Dove. Articles by The Guardian and Counterpunch. Song by Antonio Carlos Jobim, Girl from Ipanema. And excerpt from the Snap Judgment podcast, Misguided. Ignorant Rich Tourists, a program. In my hotel room, I phoned in cellophane partitions. I phoned down for ice, water, glass, tumbler, the cubes. A Mexican seamstress brings back my underlings shyly 6-7 times a day. One sweatso lying about. She mentions marvelous pistachio green caverns where one canoes through midgy Buddha beards, where polar air sounds like cetas, where, oh, yes, about the partitions the other travelers seen. Oh, and there were beautiful hairs in the wash basin this AM, thick, and they smelled of limes. Oh, but mine? How perverse! She saw the after effects of colonial system that has constructed the intimate ties of whiteness and capitalism that rule over the material wealth of the rest of the world. With the patriarchy and sexual violence built upon the glory days of the British Empire, whiteness and wealth went hand in hand in colonial India. And with a racial hierarchy that still rules the market, sometimes under the guise of tourism. Come, my brothers, let us govern Canada. Let us find our serious heads. Let's dump the Vespos on the White House. Let us make the French talk English, not just here, but everywhere. Let us torture the Senate individually until they confess. Let's purge the new party. Let's encourage the dark races so they'll be lenient when they take over. Jim's stammer is contagious. Zen smudge about the hatcheries, where the women in the suburbs come down with the gills. Hence, bathtub lovemakings, couplings in the sewers. Oh, yes, water comes. Emergency authorities issued a warning for people taking Instagrammable photos while firefighters battled the worst bushfire in Australia's Capital Territory since 2003. It's kind of amazing, but also kind of depressing that you need to make this announcement. People tell me I should visit such and such place because the people are so loving and gentle and it makes me want to vomit. I want to visit places where I can be present as a conscientious visitor, where I can learn more about a place, its history, its people, not where I can respect the people that live there, not treat them like fetish objects. No, I don't want to travel to meet noble savages, but to enhance my understanding in a world in a responsible way, not by exploiting the people in its communities. Tall and tan, young and lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes walking, and when she passes, each one she passes goes, ah. When she walks, she's like a samba that swings so cool and sways so gentle. And when she passes, each one she passes goes, ah. Out they go into the sweet emptied city, leaving behind the red numbers untouched, pleasure beaches, monsoons, and sun. Everyone was so intrigued by the tour. I saw a wild man tortoise-shell glasses writing in a notebook. What do you need to take notes for? Out on a plantation? I hear the oohs and ahs. The person behind me commented on the beautiful outdoor staircase that led from the garden to the second floor balcony. The phones come out. I heard someone say, "Look at those tall, wide pillars." Are you paying attention to the women opposing tourism and fighting object-hating activities in their communities? Are you paying attention to the people pleading for privacy and respect rather than the clumsy tourists everywhere? Because those are the people too. And you don't get to pick and choose who's the most affirming and appealing members of society when deciding who represents it. Balinese Hindus were shocked when a photo of a man sitting on top of a shrine in the Tabanan Regency went viral on Instagram. The tourist was identified as 36-year-old Tony Javardi from Finland. Let us have tourism. Let us flirt with the enemy. Let us melt pig iron in our backyards. Let us sell snow to underdeveloped nations. Let us unite church and state. Let's not take this lying down. You must instead accept the critical along with the welcoming, the angry along with the sweet, the righteously infuriated along with the abject and humiliated people that you like to objectify even further with your tragedized tales of the third world and your poverty porn. The people are human beings, not your playthings. But each day when she walks to the sea, she looks straight ahead, not at me. Tall, tan, young, lovely, the girl from Ipanema goes walking, and when she passes, I smile, but she doesn't see. No, she doesn't see. She just doesn't see me. The overall vibe was too festy, toasty, disrespectful. I'm surprised to see a young black woman working at the station because she's the only black employee here. As she was making my drink, I was trying to communicate through some black telepathy on how strange this place was. The message was not received. As I turn away, I double back and say, "This is weird, right?" And before I can even finish my sentence, she says, "Weird as hell." Let us threaten to join the USA and then pull out at the last moment. My brothers, come, our serious heads are waiting for us somewhere. Let the Gladstones bags abatten after the coup d'etat. Let us put them on very quickly and maintain stony silence. On the St. Lawrence Seaway. Welcome, welcome, white dove. You are an antidote boater dispute to solve. Welcome, welcome, white dove. Ethiopia's poor problem, if there is financial return, challenges you are sure to dissolve. I am tourist. I fly across the seas with cold glass in my hand, watching Burt Reynolds movies. I am tourist with my chocolate-colored spectacles and my blue traveler's spectacles, with camera purring at the sights. I am tourist. Thank you.